Hi, I'm Darin.
I am Mike.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome. This is episode 224.
We are Cincinnati's what? Really? 224?
224. You know why?
224 of these damn things.
I know, because the last episode was 223. Add one to it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That means the next one's 225.
If we get there, absolutely.
Yeah, multiples of 5.
Mm-hmm.
We are Cincinnati's comedy podcast.
We are.
And we're excited that you're here. Damn it. We're excited that you're here.
We are.
I'm also excited that Darin just edited that out.
Yes.
How'd you, Let's start it.
Okay.
Hey, I'm Mike.
I'm Darin. What was wrong with that one?
How to lose weight without diet or exercise. Pretty much leaves disease, doesn't it?
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome. It still has that new podcast smell. Give it up for your hosts, Mike and Darin.
Hi, I'm Darin.
I am Mike.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome, Cincinnati's comedy podcast. This is episode 224.
We are stupid excited that you're here.
We're just stupid.
Yeah, we've got a plethora of things to talk about.
Some would say a lot. People who don't understand the word plethora would say a lot.
A whole giggle of them.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Ice Cube this weekend.
Mm-hmm. I had a comedy competition. I was in a comedy competition, and something happened to me at this competition that has never happened to me before, and I doubt will ever happen to me again.
All right.
Yeah.
We'd like to thank you for listening. If you liked what you heard, please visit us on irritabledadsyndrome.com.
Mm-hmm.
All of our stuff is there.
All of it.
It's been great. See you guys later.
Yeah, bye.
Irritable Dad Syndrome is a Mike Odell, Darin Cox production.
Oh, we forgot to do the podcast.
Okay.
Damn it.
All right.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is weird. It's a weird start because I started going on a rant, and then you said, let's just put this in the episode.
yeah.
And then I said, it may not be good. And then you gave me that look that you give when you are trying to tell me I've just said something stupid, like Mike.
We never know if
Just
anything is going to work.
224 episodes in, and now
you're
starting to self-edit what you're going to talk about. No, we always announce. We stream this live on Twitch so that our fans can join us and laugh, and then we occasionally interact.
It's like a family reunion with people you don't know.
Sometimes we abuse them, and so we usually start that, and then through the course of it, we start doing the episode. While we were getting that set up, while I was tweeting or wolfing out the details,
Wolf.com.
I came across a picture of Tim Curry.
Mm-hmm.
You know Tim Curry.
I do. He was in the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah, and he was also Pennywise in It.
Yes.
And
he was in Legend with Tommy Cruise.
He played the devil guy.
Yes, he did.
And I told a story about that.
He was in Clue.
He was in Clue.
He
was in Little Orphan Annie.
Wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Legend.
Yeah, he was in Annie.
He's a legend.
Yes.
Okay.
He literally.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
He's a theatrical Hollywood legend.
But, and I'll say this, the reason I got triggered is because when the new It, because you and I went to go see the new It in the theaters.
I would see It Part 1 with you.
You saw It Part 1 with me.
I did not go see It Part 2.
Okay.
I wasn't interested in seeing It Part 2 after seeing It Part 1.
But there were all these people who were posting pictures of Tim Curry as Pennywise and saying, this is my Pennywise. This is the official It.
This will always be my Pennywise.
Have you seen the 90s version of It with Tim Curry as Pennywise?
John Ritter.
Yeah.
Harry, Dean Stanton. No.
Harry Anderson.
Night Court. Yeah, Harry Anderson.
Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like it would have been good.
Yeah.
Wasn't.
God, they were hugging all the time.
They were hugging all the time.
Every 5 minutes they were hugging. We're so scared.
Goofy as didn't have a budget. Like movies have budgets.
Oh, they had a budget. It was like $400.
So, so I remember the book, he has these jaws that opens up and he's going to like bite somebody.
Right.
And they didn't have a budget. So they had Tim Curry open his mouth to go with contacts, and it like zoomed into his mouth.
Right.
And it's one of those where you're like, you watch it, you're like, oh God.
Yeah.
I love Tim Curry.
Oh yeah.
I think he's a great actor.
Yes, he is.
Even great actors have bad roles. And I'm sorry. Whether you like it or you don't like it, and I know we're get, this is one of those where if this comes out as a miniature video, people are going to lose their minds.
Yep.
How dare you say that Tim Curry's Pennywise and that it is not the bomb. Look,
It wasn't.
just because.
But neither was the new one either.
I like the new one. But
Okay.
just because, and I'll tell you what.
Okay.
I want to interrupt myself here for a second. I'm excited for the Darin TV show that's coming out because the scariest parts of it were the backstory.
The what?
Welcome to Darin
Darin?
TV show. Yeah, Darin. That's the town in it.
Oh, okay.
Darin.
Darin.
So yes, Darin.
Darin.
Darin. You know what they breathe in dairy? The dairy air.
Oh.
You have my permission to throw in a.
Oh, wow. I'm never allowed to do that on your
No.
jokes. We had a meeting one time.
We're too many streets away from the topic. The point is,
Oh, now you want to stay on topic. Derriere.
my point is, when something is jumping to another medium, when you're, what's that called? What's that called when they turn a book into a movie or turn a book into a TV show?
Oh, it's based on the original source.
but
It's,
they call it something.
Yeah, they do.
Annotation and adaptation. Adaptation.
When it's adapted into, yes.
When it's adapted into another art form,
Mhm.
for some reason, everybody on the planet applies all the credit to that original adaptation.
Yeah.
And it drives me nuts.
Yeah.
The original cartoon version of Lord of the Rings licks balls. It's stupid.
It is.
It's bad.
It is really
Now,
bad.
I've heard people tell me, oh, it was like a forerunner in rotoscoped animation. That's great,
I don't think so.
but it blew.
But it
It just sucked.
so bad.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember.
The original Thing. It was called. Was it called The Thing?
John Carpenter's
No.
The Thing.
Though that was a remake.
Okay.
There was something else. It was like a '50s show.
You mean like Thing from Fantastic Four thing?
No. John Carpenter's The Thing was
Okay.
a remake
Okay.
of a previous work,
Mhm.
which was in the '50s. It's like, hey, there's an alien here. I'm not going to deal with you, alien. You're not going to come on my ship and act like this. It's just like, what are you doing? Put Kurt Russell in there.
Yes.
Give him an alcohol problem.
Yep.
Have him fight with
Jeff Bridges.
No.
Don Johnson.
No.
Don McClane.
No.
Harry Shearer.
No.
Harrison
The
Ford.
guy that fought Roddy Piper in
Piper?
They Live.
Oh, the African American guy.
Yeah. I can't believe
Keith Sweat.
No. That Keith Moon. Keith David.
Keith-
One of the greatest actors. Look,
He's a character.
the point is, I don't give a shit about the original Thing.
Right.
To me,
Mhm.
the best The Thing is the John Carpenter
The
version.
John Carpenter version.
I don't mind the newer ones. I've never seen it. Don't
Right.
care.
Mhm.
Maybe one of these days I'll watch it. But to me, it's John Carpenter's. When we watch it, I'm not married to the Tim Curry, Pennywise, and all this stuff. I was a kid when that came out. And I
Right.
remember watching it as a kid thinking, this is stupid. This is dumb.
I thought
mean,
it was boring.
Yeah, I love John Ritter
Oh, me too.
and Harry Anderson.
Harry Anderson's amazing.
Yeah, and I was
can't remember
pissed
the-
off
the
that John
woman in it.
Larroquette wasn't in it.
The woman.
The woman was her.
Yeah.
And
And she.
She's a lady. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Wow. Her, she. Words can't describe.
yeah, the Dark Tower. They're turning the Dark Tower into a TV show now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They tried to make it into a movie with Matthew McConaughey.
I like that movie.
I went on a rant
Yeah.
about how awesome Matthew McConaughey was as the Man in Black was. I agree with that. How awesome Idris Elba is as Roland, or was as Roland.
Uh-huh.
But I'm excited about the TV show because they're going to put the time they need.
Mm.
You can't cram all that stuff into one movie.
No.
So I'm not
That's
going to be
irresponsible to
I'll-
think that you can.
I'll probably come on here and say they should have had Matthew McConaughey as Walter.
Right.
But I'm not going to be saying how awesome that Dark Tower movie was compared to this show because it was good, but it wasn't the Dark Tower story.
So what's
My
this got to do
point
with the
is, I was tweeting.
Let's circle
I was,
back.
I was wolfing out about
you
this
were,
show.
You were Xing.
I saw a picture of Tim Curry,
Uh-huh.
and it triggered me.
Okay.
Because every time I see that, it's somebody's ranting about how he's the only one that could have ever played it. And that's just not true. Now, was he shortchanged because they
Peter,
did...
Peter Skarsgård, right?
Yeah,
Or
Skars-
Stellan Skarsgård. Is it Peter?
Alex Thorson,
No, it's Peter Skarsgård and Alex.
the guy with the
Alan
eyeball that
Skarsgård.
does thing.
Yeah, they,
one of the
both-
Scars
They
people.
had all eyeballs. Yes.
One of them Vikings played him in the new... And I thought they did a good job.
I thought he did good. Yeah.
I don't think Pennywise the clown is as scary as they try to market everything. The scary part of it, the book, and this is why I'm excited about the TV show. The scary part of it is the backstory and the that he did like in the past and like all that kind of cool stuff, like the weird haunted stories, the story of all these people being boarded up in a house and the house set on fire, and it's a chilling story. The clown is a part of it, but for sake.
Stump Woodley said it best, almost word for word what I was going to say. It lost me when the girl got attacked by a drain hair clog. Absolutely. Yeah. I was watching the movie with Mike, and, I remember I looked at you and I said, what the hell?
My question is, what the hell?
What the hell was
Part
that?
of it also is just last night. I'm doing a thing in 2024. I'm reading books, and I just finished another book. I finished Dr. Sleep.
Okay.
The sequel to The Shining. And I'm going to watch the movie. But as I was reading the book, I knew in my head I was going to watch the movie. By the way, I'm glad that they had Ewan McGregor play Danny in the movie, because the whole time I'm thinking of the kid with the mop, the bowl hair, and I'm like, I just kept imagining the kid.
Right.
They put Ewan in there, now I can imagine Ewan, and it made sense in the book. But that's neither here nor there. My point is...
Your point, Mike.
As I was reading the book, you and I have talked about reading books versus movies in the past.
Right.
What are you going to do? We've talked about reading books versus...
And the movie is always better.
No.
Always better.
In the book...
The movie is amazing. The books usually blow because they're boring.
Yeah.
It takes forever.
Okay. I'm not going to... You're going to
hurts.
get destroyed on this online, and I'm not going to... I'm not dying on this. In the book, you can read on a well-written book what the characters are thinking, all this stuff. Something that can be terrifying in a book, if done wrong in a movie, will look stupid. And there were so many times during Dr. Sleep, I was like, whoa. And then I was like, that's going to look really stupid in the movie.
I will say that I read The Stand.
Okay.
And the original miniseries of The Stand.
So bad.
I thought they came close.
Okay.
I thought if they had one more episode, they could have gotten it. They were close. They were really close.
It has a nostalgic thing.
I don't know if
I think it's better than the It adaptation.
I don't know if you watched the new one with Whoopi, and we got like 4 or 5 episodes into that and kind of lost interest in it. Yeah. So, but no, you were talking about Tim Curry. And,
love Tim Curry. This is not against Tim Curry.
No. I went to see the Rocky Horror Picture Show probably 50 times.
Yeah.
Okay, in high school and a few times in college, which is nothing compared to the people who saw it hundreds
of years ago.
No, hundreds of times. Maybe people who saw it like 1,000 sometimes. Okay,
aren't you supposed to like do Jello shots and fart?
No. You do fart at the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Good. Maybe I'll go.
They dance in front of the screen. They throw rice. They throw toilet paper. They run around. It's so much fun. You yell at the screen. It yells back at them. Like I said, it was a huge part of my high school years. Okay. And it was so much fun. And the friends that I had who went to see that with me are still great friends to this day. And it was a bonding experience. Yeah. And you're looking at me funky. And you have to get over this. So, I'm but Fox decided that they are going to remake the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Why?
And
No! God, please, no! No!
And there's a lot of my friends who stood beside me, and they're like, no, we are not going to watch it.
Yeah.
Like, there's no point, because nobody can be Frankenfurter like Tim Curry.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Now,
that's a character that you can't. And when they, you know what, I was against them remaking or casting a young Han Solo. Solo wasn't a great movie.
So, I'm going
to leave that
I'm going to sound like I'm going back and forth here, and I probably am, and I don't care.
But never.
I will say I can think of some movies that I would get pissed if they remade. The Big Lebowski, you can't do that. It's Jeff Bridges.
No.
And the guy
John Goodman, and Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Raising Arizona, I just saw some clips of that the other day.
You can't-
It has to be Nicolas Cage, and it has to
And
be
it
early
has-
career.
it has to be Holly
Nicolas
Hunter.
Cage and Holly Hunter,
Yeah.
and John Goodman.
Yeah.
I think John Goodman is in every comedy that I
think
that
he
I like.
I think he did 7 Coen Brothers films. 6 or 7 of them. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
he was. Yeah, I was about to list them off. I was like, oh, that was Mike from
Well,
episode
he was
3.
in Barton Fink.
Okay.
Anyway,
Anyway,
he was in Oh Brother Where Art Thou?
anyway, we should probably start the episode at some point. here.
We're in the episode. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
You're listening to Irritable Dad Syndrome, Cincinnati's comedy podcast.
Well, now we're having fun, aren't we?
Some cool stuff happened
Okay.
this past weekend.
Yep.
Charlie had the most amazing football game I think he's ever had.
Oh,
I was
cool.
so proud
Yeah.
as a dad.
Yeah.
He is running back.
Mhm.
Okay. And then he's like the left corner. He's running back on offense, left corner on defense.
Oh, they play him on offense and defense?
Yeah.
Because there's only, 8 kids on the
Well,
team?
no, they have just he usually plays the whole game.
Okay.
And I know from people I've talked to, because I'm like, I don't know what those positions mean. Charlie said those are really hard positions to play. I was like, I don't know. And I talked to a coach guy that I know, and he's like, oh yeah, those are really tough positions to play.
Really?
So I guess I'm proud of him.
Really tough.
And he got the ball at the 3rd yard line
Okay.
and ran the entire field
97 yards.
for 97-yard touchdown,
No kidding.
and it got called back
What?
because of holding.
What?
Okay. Okay.
No!
No, maybe 2 or 3 minutes later, and I'm not kidding. At the 20-yard line,
Mm-hmm.
he got the ball again, ran the entire field, another touchdown,
Uh-huh.
got called back for holding.
Hey, what happened?
And that's when other parents started yelling from the stands, just give it to him, because he had ran. It was like 95 degrees
Yeah.
this past Sunday.
Yeah.
He was visibly like panting. They were giving him water. He'd been through it. Nobody
Uh-huh.
could catch him.
Uh-huh.
About 5 to 7 minutes after that, it was the same quarter, but they have timeouts, everything. It was the end of the quarter.
Right.
He got the ball, and again, the same thing. He ran through. What's that called? Stiff arm? Like straight arm?
Oh, yeah.
The kid?
No, it's a
Knocked
stiff
the
arm.
kid completely back. And
Right.
I remember telling people at work today, I was like, that was frustration.
Uh-huh.
I've ran this field twice, and they won't give me a touchdown.
Get off my field.
Get out of my way.
Yeah.
He ran
Get your
about
bitch
60
ass-
yards,
Uh-huh.
and he was starting to slow down. Because I was telling another parent, I was like, I wanted to yell, run faster, he's going to get you. But I was like, I'm his fat dad sitting in the stands watching my kid run his upwards of 300 yards at this point, running within a span of like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I can't do that. So I watched him get tackled right almost directly in front of the goal line. He went down hard. He got up. He was holding his stomach.
Yeah.
He was hyperventilating a little bit. I could tell that he wasn't hurt, but he was just done.
Well-
So they brought him to the side. He did get all that gain. I was thinking he's out of the game at this point. It was near the end of the game. I was like, they're not going to make him go back out there.
Mm-hmm.
And they ended up getting the touchdown.
Yeah.
And then it was time for the conversion. They don't do kick through the goalpost at that age. They do conversion, like either pass it in or run it in for the extra points.
Oh,
right.
For 2 extra points?
2 point.
Oh, 2 point
yeah.
conversion. Why
So-
don't they do a field goal?
At that age, I guess they don't. They just don't. And they don't punt. They just say, we're punting. It's like, okay, go back 25 yards.
Here you go.
Anyway, the point is, he's only been on the sidelines for maybe 2 minutes at this point. He looked like he was about to pass out.
Uh-huh.
And the coach looked over at him. Charlie, you're in? And he gave a thumbs up and went out. I was like, oh my. And then he got the 2 point conversion. And a part of me thought they're going to call that back. But no, they let that one fly. So his team ended up winning, I think it was 18 or 19 to 0.
Oh, okay.
And, but I mean, man, he ran that entire field twice and got no points for it.
Oh, man.
But I was so proud of the little dude. He was... I
can only
I couldn't
imagine how-
believe he gave a thumbs up. I told Bess, if it were me,
Mhm.
and the coach was like, "Are you ready to get back in?" I was like, "I'm not. No,
I wouldn't be there next week.
I would have been in the car.
Yeah.
Let's go." But he gave the thumbs up and just walks out there and does it. So,
Let's go.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Y'all, you fellers with me?
This portion of Irritable Dad Syndrome is brought to you by Tab. I think I'll have one right now. Now, back to the studio.
So Saturday, I entered a clean comedy competition. I've mentioned before that, and again,
at a place.
Hang on,
Okay.
don't get ahead of me.
I'm back.
I don't have a problem with language, but the last handful of times I did stand-up comedy, the other people who were on the bill were doing school shooting jokes and abortion jokes and having relations with quadriplegic jokes, and the crowd was just looking at people on the stage, right? And it's like, hey, you know what? First Amendment, you want to try this out? Whatever.
They want to be the new Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah, you and I went to see
Louis C.K.
Louis C.K. God knows he did some inappropriate material.
He did, but he's good at it.
He's Louis C.K.
Yeah, he's good at it.
He did it in a way. Yeah. And so
he added comedy to it. It's not just a up there saying offensive stuff.
Yeah. So there's this clean comedy competition, and I'm like, absolutely, and I signed up for it, and it's in Bellbrook, Ohio.
Any details here?
Okay, I'm trying to give you all the details.
You signed up for it. How do you hear about these things? How did you sign up?
I'm on the Dayton Comedy Facebook page, and I'm on the Cincinnati Comedy Facebook page. So,
and they had an announcement on
our
there.
friend Kevin Rupert posted it as part of Bricky's Comedy Club.
Okay.
They're having a clean comedy competition in Bellbrook, Ohio.
Okay.
And so I signed up for it. And the top 3 prizes were there was some cash. There was one person gets to headline. I think somebody's going to headline. Somebody's going to be like an opening act, and then somebody gets to MC or host at Bricky's. So I'm like, if I do well in this comedy competition, then maybe Kevin will bring me on at Bricky's Comedy Club, and I'll do that there.
And you could wear an Irritable Dad Syndrome t-shirt,
exactly.
And then we go national, and it's like,
and we take over the world.
It's gravy from there.
The world, yeah. It's like that's the cake. This is the frosting.
Yeah.
So I was all excited, and I worked on my routine for a couple of weeks, or more.
Yeah.
I mean, I wrote and I tweaked and this and
knock
this was
knock.
Yeah, who's there?
Your mom.
Yeah.
Your mom. Who? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm all excited, and the thing is from 4 to 6, and again, it's in Bellbrook, Ohio. I've never been to Bellbrook.
I don't know where Bellbrook is. What's it near?
It's near Dayton, near Miami. Miamisburg.
That makes sense.
So I drive up there, and it's a beautiful day. And I'm driving. I'm going through my routine in the car, and I'm working on it. I don't know how many times I went through the routine. 50 times, probably. I rehearsed.
You were prepared.
Somebody asked me one time if I just get up there and wing it. I'm like, it may sound like I'm just winging it. And the reason I rehearse it so many times is because I forget my stuff. Okay. Sometimes if I have an act where I talk about this and it leads into that, and then that leads into something else, there have been so many times where I jump in and I forget the first part of the routine. And then I'm like, anyway.
Then you I told it wrong. Let me start over. And
I had to do that. And it was so embarrassing. And it wasn't going well anyway. But so I get to Bellbrook, Ohio, and I take a right on this street. I take a left on this street. And the GPS says, you are here. I'm at a park. I'm like, this is it. I didn't know it was an outdoor show.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm like, this can't be right.
Yeah.
And I look, and there's somebody setting up microphones, somebody setting up speakers, and then over there underneath the gazebo, or the gazebo as you call it,
The gazebo,
is Kevin Rupert.
Wow.
I'm like, okay,
well,
this is it.
You had a comedy show here, so that prepared you for this. Yeah.
This is my 3rd time performing outdoors. I performed. I don't know if I ever told you, but I did a comedy show once. I thought was going to be at a country club. It was actually at a pool. Okay, a pool.
Okay. Yeah.
I opened up for Steve Caminetti, and they instead of like a billboard, you know, with your name and lights or whatever, they had a dry erase board. And Steve Caminetti's name was written in black magic marker. They ran out of magic marker, black.
Yeah.
So they wrote my name in green, and you couldn't see that.
Yeah.
So you had to get real close up to, that's my name.
Yeah.
And I took a picture of that, and I looked at Libby and says, honey, I've made it.
Yeah.
And they put us right in front of the bathrooms. So you're doing your routine, and then someone goes back into the changing area bathroom. You hear them flushing. Everything all right back there? You know? But that show was really cool because afterwards, I'm telling you, every person who was at that show hung around, and they had their pictures taken with us.
Okay.
And they hung around and talked, and they were like, oh my God, I can't believe that comedians actually came to our neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like we were big shots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm at this park.
Okay.
I go over and I find Kevin, and he forgot that I had signed up for it. Oh, crap. Hey, Darin, this is embarrassing. I'm sorry. So he does the little thing, and he squeezes me in. You're going to go on in between these two.
He kicks Gerald out and lets you...
Darin Cox is here. Get the hell out of here, Gerald.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he puts me on the list, and he says, you're going to go after this guy, and you're going to introduce this guy. A lot of times at these events, you do what's called piggyback. So your host will do like 5 minutes, introduce the act and thank everybody for coming and say, hey, be sure to check out there's merchandise in the back and all that stuff. All right, you guys ready for have a good, you ready for a show? And then So the first act introduces the second act introduces the third act. That's called piggyback.
Yeah. Up next is Gerald.
Up next is Gerald, but unfortunately he was kicked out because I was there.
Yeah.
The guy who went on ahead of me, really nice guy.
And this just happened this past weekend.
This was Saturday, yeah.
Okay.
He was a super nice guy.
Yeah.
But what he did in his act, no one's ever done before.
Okay.
He asks the guy running the audio booth, hey, will you play that song for me? I'm going to sing a song. Will you play my music?
Oh, boy.
He turns on the audio for him. And it's not the music.
Yeah.
He accidentally, and I'm holding quote marks, he accidentally played his... He was working on his diary, like inner dialogue. Note to self. Okay, so we're doing this thing, and I'm not doing his bit any justice because I don't remember a lot of exactly what he said. But it's him doing a diary. Today I was working on this and something else, and the comedian keeps looking like I can't believe they're playing the wrong clip and what's going on, whatever.
Yeah.
He starts talking about, I hope I don't accidentally spill anything on myself because people will think I have a pee-pee problem.
Okay.
And I don't want people to think I have a pee-pee problem because I've got this pee-pee under control, right?
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he looks like he has pissed himself. And it runs right all through the crotch, all down to both knees.
Yeah.
And he's like...
So clearly this was planned.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
But brilliant, right?
Yeah.
He's like, oh my goodness, everyone's going to think I have a pee-pee problem now. All right. Well, listen, guys, thanks for coming. Please welcome your next comic.
Yeah.
And he brings me on.
Oh, no.
And the look on my face was like, okay. And they were already laughing at me when I got up there because of just, I was like, and Kevin had said, listen, when you bring up your next comic, don't make a joke about their name or something else or whatever, because we've had people who try to sabotage another act.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, can we get this guy some paper towels? Maybe some Depends or something.
Yeah.
And I wasn't gonna make jokes about him. And so, but all I could say was, wow. And so, anyway, he was a cool guy and he was funny, and I enjoyed talking to him a lot. But the show was outdoors, okay? I don't know if outside.
I've been outdoors before.
I don't know about your...
I've been outside.
So when there's not a, what's it called, that thing?
Roof.
A roof? Or walls? Or a back wall or something like that?
When you're outside,
There's no... if they were laughing, I could not hear anybody laughing.
Okay, you couldn't hear anything.
I couldn't hear anybody laughing. We're outside. There's nothing to capture the sound,
I hear
so there was a lot of people smiling.
Yeah.
The people in the front row, they're all enjoying themselves.
Okay.
Nobody was laughing. Everybody was smiling, and occasionally this guy would look at his wife and go, the thing.
Okay, you said the thing on the side.
Yeah. But like I said, they were enjoying themselves. No laughter.
Yeah.
And if there was laughter, then I couldn't hear it. And then since we were outdoors and it was sunny, luckily we were in the shade.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
here I am in jeans and a black t-shirt. I'm going to cook.
Yeah.
I was dressed like Jon Stewart in his early comedy days. But because of where the trees were, there were people who were sitting way like 300-400 feet
Oh, no.
in the back because that's where the shade was.
Yeah.
So if they were laughing, I certainly couldn't hear them.
Yeah.
But anyway, there was, I think, 15 or 16 people competed, and Kevin told me that I came in 5th place.
Wow.
So,
wow, congratulations.
I
Yeah.
didn't win, but you know what? 5th it ain't
That's
bad.
pretty good. That's
Yeah,
pretty
I
good.
like-
That's in the upper third.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
forget any of my routine.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm always worried about. I've, I'm confident in my material, but there have been so many times where I've been up there and I've tried to do my stuff and I forget a thing or whatever. And
Yeah.
then I get frustrated and I keep my notes with me all the time.
Yeah.
But I was pleased with it.
Good.
Oh, and there
Good.
was there were no bathrooms. There was
Yeah.
one porta potty,
Uh-huh.
115 degrees inside it.
Oh, yeah.
Outside of that, it was fine. By the way, Kevin Rupert says hello.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Kevin.
So do stand-up comedy, kids.
Kevin's a good dude.
It's fun. He is a good guy.
Yeah, he is.
After the comedy show, he and I went to this brewery in Bellbrook
Uh-huh.
and got a beer, and they had a food truck outside, and I got this burger. It was expensive, but my God, it was thick.
Yeah.
It was seasoned. The meat was seasoned all the way through, and they cooked it exactly like I wanted it to. It was a really tasty burger for a food truck burger because I didn't know what to expect.
This portion of our show is brought to you by Blockbuster Video.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm bleeding.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so I got an injury here. Hold on.
Okay.
I think there's a paper towel. Luckily, this is Charlie's area, and there's usually triage stuff over here. So let me. I don't know why I'm bleeding. This is the first. Is this considered our first work injury?
I don't know. What about that?
Oh, the bug.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Well, that wasn't an injury that just scared the crap out of you.
That's close enough.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell.
Don't just put pressure on it.
No, I'm not like actively.
Do you need a splint?
No, I just don't. I don't know what happened.
What happened?
Yeah, I put this in the mug. That's not disgusting.
No,
Okay.
not at all.
So my Saturday, I went to go see a musical performance.
Okay.
I went to see Ice Cube.
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube at Hollywood Casino in Cincinnati.
Okay.
So I am a rock guy.
Yeah.
Right. That's my jam.
Yeah, you mentioned a couple weeks ago you were going to go see Ice Cube, and
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
surprised because
Yeah.
I did not think that you would go to a show like this.
So back in the just watching this burgeoning injury.
Burgeoning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Burgeoning. So I think in the 90s, I think everyone ended up having somewhere in their CD collection Snoop Dogg Doggy Style. Did you have Doggy Style?
No.
Okay, you must
I
have
do
been
not.
out of that.
I do have a Snoop Dogg CD in my collection. The one that has California Dreaming.
Okay. So I guess everybody has Snoop Dogg. I was going to say back in my area, it was Doggy Style.
Okay.
I don't know how I have it. I have it. I don't know where it came from. It's there.
Okay. I was a bigger fan of Digital Underground back in the
Okay.
day.
I had Beastie Boys.
I had License to Ill.
I had Dr. Dre to 2001, not
Okay.
the stuff before that, and I had 2 Eminem. When he hit,
Yeah.
but then Ice Cube, and the one that I
Did
liked.
he ever stand up?
Okay. All right.
Can you turn off your phone? It's buzzing the whole desk.
Okay. I'll just put it down.
See, Eminem said, "Please stand
Yeah.
up," and
Yeah.
please stand up.
You can edit that.
Okay.
Okay. But
I was curious.
so I liked some rap in my area of what I like the most. It's rock at the top, and then I would say rap and electronic. It's
Okay.
kind of not in the same genre, but electronic, and then the rap. Country, I have to really, really like somebody to like a country song.
Okay.
I think the only country songs I've ever liked are Johnny Cash, Hank Williams Jr. to be funny,
Right.
and then Willie Nelson if he says
Just say,
something. I'm
you gotta love Willie,
obligated.
Waylon.
I never listened to
Waylon
I
Jennings?
just never listened
Okay.
to Waylon Jennings.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You
point
would love
is,
Waylon Jennings.
point is, I've always liked Ice Cube.
Okay.
Okay, so I was like, I saw that he was coming to town. I was like, I'm going to go see Ice Cube. Didn't know much about him other than the couple of CDs I have. Before I got into music, I remember having this conversation in high school. I didn't know what groups to buy because back in the day, it's not like it is today. Today, you can just go on the Spotify or the YouTubes or whatever and listen to anything you want, right? It wasn't like that back in the day. Back in the day, if it wasn't on the radio, you had to go to a store and buy a cassette tape or something like that to listen to something. Right.
I remember.
And you walk into a music store and they're all out there and it's like, if you don't know what bands are what, then so you just pick something that looks cool and you go. You know, that's kind of how I knew all about rock. I'm at the point in rock where I have like very strong opinions.
Really?
I see somebody go into this area over here. I'm like, well, there's nobody on that alphabet portion that you should be listening to in rock. No.
What are you doing
skip
there?
right over there and go to the
You
U's,
loser.
the Van Halens.
Yeah.
This will take care of itself.
Stop talking about
Well,
it.
you keep looking at it.
I can look at it,
It's the
but you got to
Who,
quit. Stop
the Pink
mentioning it.
Well, you can edit that.
I know, but
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
because you're like, and stop talking about the blood,
Hey,
the Who,
so-
and then I know I'm bleeding, Van
Okay,
Halen.
Look, so back in the day, I would go into like a music store. I had no idea what to buy. Eventually, I figured out what I like, and okay.
Please stand by. We're experiencing technical difficulties. Thank you.
So back in the day, going to a music store, I had no idea to go where to go with anything until I hit on different artists I like, and those led into other ones. Boom, here I am 30, 40 years later, and I have very strong opinions on rock. So with rap, I walked into the show not having very strong opinions. I know that I like Ice Cube. I know that I like some Dre stuff. I know I like Eminem and, you know, all that stuff, but I don't know much about it. This show was great for me seeing all the different stuff. Like he did some NWA. They had picked like a whole video thing going there during every song. So I saw Dre. I was like, oh, he was, you know, and the Eazy-E and that whole crew. And I was like, wow, that whole world is a little bit smaller. It reminded me of when the rock world for me shrunk. Rock went from like this huge universe of where I don't even know where to start to like it got smaller. Like, oh, they collaborated with them. They like if you like Genesis, you're getting exposed to Peter Gabriel, Phil Collins, and Genesis all in one big
Mike and the Mechanics
and Sting, Mike and the Mechanics.
Yeah,
you know they're the Robert Plant, Jimmy Page, Led Zeppelin. The Yardbirds, all that, you know, it's a smaller world.
Dexy's Midnight Runners,
exactly. Gwar,
the Trogs,
it's a smaller world than what it is when you first walk into it. So then I walk into the rap world, and it starts to shrink, and I thought that was cool. I'm like, wow, I know more about this genre than I thought I did.
Right?
Yeah, and so it was. Yeah, it's an awesome show.
Yeah,
he went through. He did a really good job of in between each track, like talking to the audience. He brought Cincinnati into it a lot. He really likes Cincinnati.
Oh, good.
He's friends with Bootsy Collins. That's part of the reason he just kept talking about Bootsy.
Everybody's a friend of Bootsy Collins. You know, when I interviewed Billy Bob Thornton, he's a friend of Bootsy Collins.
Okay.
And Bootsy seriously said that they should write a song together sometime. And he's like, can you imagine me and Bootsy Collins writing a song together?
Okay. My point is, it did a really good job of introducing where everything was. I learned what songs were about. I had no idea what some of the songs were about, which made me want to go back and listen to them more. I know that people do that so that you listen to their stuff and you like consume more of their stuff, but it was still interesting. I know all about the beef between him and Dre and Eazy. I know that beef is squashed. Now they all love each other. Well, Eazy's gone, but Dr. Dre, MC Ren, and Ice Cube, they all get along.
He's gone, but he'll always be alive in our heart.
Yes. Yeah.
Who was the one that held the guy upside down over the outside the window?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No.
And Commando.
No.
Sully.
I let him go. Yeah. No, the rapper.
I like you, Sully. I kill you last.
The rapper who held the guy outside.
Suge Knight.
Suge Knight.
Yeah, I mean, any story that involves somebody almost dying.
Was Ice Cube there? Did it have anything to do with it?
Probably, because here's the thing. That's what I'm saying is, like, you don't realize how small this world is until you get into it. And like I said, the rock world was like that for me. The electronic music world was like that for me. Same thing. I'm sure if I ever gave a country would be like that to me, but I just don't care.
As I say, the older I get, the more country I like, but I still wouldn't call myself
A country music
a country music fan.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
Can I tell you
Like,
something?
I love Garth Brooks. I've got so much Garth Brooks music. And I'll tell you why I've got so much Garth Brooks music, because he released 6 CDs and then he put them on a box set, and the box set was like $20 at Walmart.
Okay,
I'm like, yeah, I can buy 6 CDs for $20.
Yeah.
Sure. And then he released like 5 or 6 more. Released another box set.
Yeah.
Again, $25 whatever dollars. I bought that.
Yeah.
I own all his music for like $40. It's a steal.
Yeah.
And then his concert was, I remember seeing that, and I'm like, it's the best concert I've ever seen. And then a month later is when I saw the Joshua Tree tour.
Yeah.
And so I love Johnny Cash. I love Willie Nelson. Waylon Jennings. Amazing. The what's his face on PBS did the country.
Conway Twitty.
You know what? Conway Twitty had some good music.
Yeah.
Hello, Darling.
Vibranium Leg.
Song. Yeah, he did. He did.
A lot of people don't know that.
If you ever get an opportunity to watch the documentary on PBS, Country Music, fascinating.
Yeah.
Don Williams, I love Don Williams.
I don't know who that is.
He's got so many great
But
songs.
Dolly Parton.
I love Dolly.
Yeah.
Ain't
9
nobody,
to 5.
Ain't nobody don't love Dolly Parton.
Yeah. I mean, she was in a movie with Dabney Coleman.
Yeah.
And if you're in a
And
movie
Lily
with
Tomlin
Dabney
and Jane
Coleman,
Fonda.
the whole crew.
Yeah. We went from Ice Cube to Dolly Parton. There you go.
And Lily Tomlin. It was a great show. Yeah, it was loud.
I would say.
Holy Lord! And I ended up on the rail, like right in front on the right side.
Oh,
there.
that's where I was for Offspring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like right there.
Too old to be that close.
Yeah.
Were they moshing?
No, but they had like a guy. So I was impressed that he was out there completely by himself, like no other people running around. Like they usually have a hype man or all this stuff.
No DJ, no wiki.
No. It was just him. I mean, there's like a crew playing music behind a tent back here that was like feeding the music through.
Okay.
But he was on stage by himself.
You know, when I saw Young MC, he opened up for the Digital Underground back in the 2002, I think.
The aughts.
The aughts, yeah. And Young MC came out and did 4 songs. It was just him on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had
He had a boombox.
Yeah.
He did.
Okay. But literally, it was just him. He had these 2 inflatable, West Side finger things going up. I'll show you a picture of it later.
Okay.
And that was it. And like a screen behind him that played stuff. I did not know how many movies he's been in. They played so many clips from his movie. I know everybody knows Friday, but then 3 Kings, 21 Jump Street, he was in part of that, but
Boys in the Hood.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's like, they would just play
Legendary.
clip after clip. After a while during the show, I was like, if I didn't know better, you could have told me, yeah, this movie star became a rap artist. And I would have believed you, because they had like, it was like constant throughout the whole thing.
His episode of Jiminy Glick was...
Oh, no.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I gotta, okay.
Yeah. Because for a while there, he wasn't playing along with it.
Yeah.
You know? So how is it? What's it like being Ice-T? Yo, man, I'm not Ice-T. I'm Ice Cube. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. So how long have it been a movie star? You know, whatever. And he finally broke and started laughing and went along with it. But I'm like, my God, why did Ice Cube agree to be on Jimmy Glick?
Yeah. Did he ever go on Between Two Ferns?
I don't think so. I love Between Two Ferns.
I don't know if you're like me, but every time I come across a clip of Between Two Ferns on TikTok or YouTube, I watch it and then I go seek out other ones, and I end up watching all of them, and I always see the bloopers.
Yep.
And my favorite blooper is the John Hamm and Zach Galifianakis mentions your thing is in the hall of whatever right next to the Cosby sweater, and then John Hamm goes does the Cosby laugh. Oh my God.
Oh, the Brie Larson one.
Oh,
where she tore him a new one was really, really good.
Yeah, your parents divorced when you were 4. Was that your fault? And then Jennifer Lawrence. You're off-putting. You should be off-putting.
Yeah.
because you're fat. You know. The Bradley Cooper, they slap each other and they get into a fight. Oh my God. All of them.
They're all really, really good.
Yeah,
Zach Galifianakis is a comedy genius.
Yeah. So we went from Ice Cube
to
Dolly Parton
to Zach Galifianakis.
Okay.
Yay. Speaking of comedy,
Yes.
the pastor at our church
Uh-huh.
told a dirty joke.
Okay.
And I'm
A
still,
nun, a priest, and a rabbi walk in a bar.
I'm still surprised that he did it.
Okay. Little Johnny sat in church. No.
No. And I'm not going to name the church, and I'm not going to name the pastor. But
Okay.
and I'm debating whether I should really tell the joke.
Yes.
He was talking about how he was speaking to a large group of people. This is 20, 30 years ago when he was a much younger pastor.
And churches were much bluer back then.
He was talking about how Jesus would wash people's feet.
Yeah.
And he went to wash Peter's feet, and he says, "Is it okay if I wash your Peter?" Instead of, "Is it?" And I'm like, oh my God. And the dude next to me had water. Yeah.
Did he do that on purpose?
Yeah, he told us that joke. Not really a joke, but a funny thing that happened.
Yeah.
I'm like, and you told it during church.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's time now for an Irritable Dad Syndrome previous story update.
I mentioned that I've been collecting bread ties. I got some.
Yeah.
I started saving them because I could use them to help hang Christmas lights outside. And then I thought, there's got to be other creative reasons, things that I can do with these bread ties. I didn't realize how many I was saving. It turns out I've got like a couple hundred, and they're in a giant sandwich bag that I have in a drawer. After we recorded this episode, Steve Farrell, a fan of the show, sends a picture to me of a sandwich bag full of bread ties. And I thought, well, hold on, how in the hell did he get a picture of my bread ties? And it wasn't my bread ties, it was his bread ties.
So he's trying to...
So, no, this friend of mine who I've had since college
Yeah.
also saves bread ties. And I'm like, you're a freak too. He's like, yeah. And I didn't even ask him why he saves his.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I haven't started the necklace. I am going to take these bread ties. I'm going to make them into a necklace, and we are going to auction them off.
Yeah, it's for charity.
For charity, yeah.
Let's get some...
Yeah, exactly.
Let's put your money
where your mouth is.
Yeah.
Put where my bread ties in my pocket. What? Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to do that.
Now, if you get a package of bagels, can you use a bagel tie?
No, but you can use that. The plastic one?
Yeah.
You can use that
No.
You can use that for a guitar pick
if it comes with... Really? I never even thought about that. Yeah.
And listen, don't spend hundreds of dollars at Christmas with your tree if you're going to hang on those little ornament hangers.
Yeah.
Just use bread ties.
So, as a kid...
By the way, when Jacob was little, he called those Christmas hookers. You put your ornament on a Christmas hooker.
Right.
Yeah. And still, he's 20. I'm going to be 21 in July. We still say, hey, Jacob, go get the Christmas hookers.
So,
okay, Daddy.
Yeah, okay.
This has been an Irritable Dad Syndrome previous story update.
Here's the thing that I was a dip as a kid.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
me
I would
too.
get a full package of Hershey's Kisses.
Mm-hmm.
The classic with the...
Yes.
they have the regular, normal...
The packaging has not
all-American
changed.
aluminum foil,
Yes.
like silver.
With the white.
Now they get all Christmassy with the red and the gold and the whatever.
Exactly.
But this is back in the day. And I would lay on the floor of my room watching TV with an entire bag of Hershey's Kisses, and I would eat them and then roll up the little ball.
Like boogers.
And then the next one, I would roll it around that, and I would slowly build...
You made a giant aluminum ball. Yeah.
And my dream was to make an aluminum ball bigger than our house.
like the biggest ball of twine in Minnesota.
I never did that. But these days now you can find videos of people who've done that. But I found a video that combined that insanity with the insanity. Have you seen the videos of the press that crushes?
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
And
especially when they press like wax and it all shoots through like spaghetti.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then
watch
also
that all day.
Also videos where they melt aluminum and they make things like a grabber or a thing.
They make a thing in the sand.
Yeah.
Right? They make that shape in the sand, and
then
then they pour the molten metal in there. I'm like, where are you molting this metal?
A mouse helmet, and then they do
a mouse helmet.
They need protection.
Okay.
But anyway, I saw a video where someone had created the Hershey's Kisses aluminum ball, then put it in one of those presses. It pressed it down until it goes. And And usually if it's a ceramic thing, it crashes and you hear somebody in the back go,
Oh.
you know, whatever.
There's one guy on TikTok
Yeah.
who will roll things down steps.
Yeah.
And then they
it
break
breaks.
and he goes, oh.
Yeah.
And then he ties giant bottles and he swings them.
Yeah.
And he wants them to hit each other. And
yeah.
he goes, oh.
Yeah.
Then he throws things into TVs.
Yeah, there's psychos all over the internet.
Yeah.
So they crush this ball down to a piece of aluminum.
Yeah.
And you see a hand get it and they tap it up against something metal and it's like, tick, tick, it's a chunk of aluminum at that point.
Yeah.
Then you see
Aluminium.
Then you see them put it in like a crucible and they melt it. And then they put it into a mold and they make an aluminum thing, all from
a crucible?
the Hershey's Kisses, like a thing that you heat stuff in. A crucible.
Is that called a crucible?
Yes. You have learned. We're going to have to make a list of the vocabulary
I thought a
words.
crucible was something else, like from the old knight days, like with the swords and horses and castles.
Well, I mean, they may have said it back then, but it's a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They put it in a thing.
Okay. Well,
I'd say-
you never say words that actually mean things. You say thing and stuff. And
Anyway, my point is that they took this to the end point where they took the wrappers, crushed it to do the thing, melted it to make another thing, and now they have a completely new object.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Story went nowhere. Nowhere.
So, Crucible, there are multiple matches for Crucible. It's a container for melting substances.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's also a play. The Crucible is a play that some say is about the paranoia and political implications of the Salem witch trials. That's where I heard Crucible.
Salem Witch Trials, Knights.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Boom. Chocolates. Eat them all up. Get fat.
Yeah.
Watch
And-
Ice Cube.
and
Dolly
then,
Parton.
And then
Christmas hookers.
and then find some witches.
Yeah.
It's almost Halloween, so why not?
Oh, yeah.
Did the guy really say, I'm going to wash up Peter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it okay if I wash your... He was going to ask, is it okay if I wash your feet,
Yeah.
Peter? But then he says, is it okay if I wash your Peter?
Did he misspeak?
He misspoke, yes.
Okay. All right. You can edit that.
No,
piece
no.
out.
Yeah,
Like,
he
this
accidentally
me
said
asking
that.
again. Okay.
No. He accidentally
All right.
said that.
Okay. Yeah. I'm picturing a guy who
Kind of like
I
when
think
you
that's
ordered
funny.
the 12 nuggets.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He misspoke.
Yeah.
And he told the story of misspeaking in church. Yes.
Speaking of nuggets,
Okay.
there is a video of somebody misspeaking an order, and part of me, I saw it. I can't remember what they were ordering, but part of me thought, did they see our video? And now they're kind of,
You never know.
I'm the nugget guy.
I know.
I'm just saying.
We've got a trademark on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like if we see a video tomorrow about Christmas hookers, you're probably gonna be like, "Well, whoa,
Slow down, Pally.
Speaking of that, me and Bess and I, our family, never took down our Halloween lights last year. They've been above our door.
Uh-huh.
And now it's time to put up Halloween lights. All we have to do now is just plug them in. It's awesome.
Can we talk about how long you left your Christmas tree up? Your Christmas tree was up almost at Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it made it to Easter.
No,
it didn't make it there. Okay.
Well, we were going to have Michael Flannery here, and you're like, whoa, we can't have Michael Flannery here. We saw the Christmas tree up. I'm like,
Yeah.
Then we're never going to have Michael Flannery here, are we? You know what? You do you. You leave it up as long as you want.
Yeah. I mean, we had dogs in our tree for years. Now it's under our tree.
Hey, what happened?
Gonna wrap this one up.
Yeah, how?
We
Wrap it up in aluminum foil, crush it, and melt it, and make a mouse helmet.
Guys, Mike's about to bleed out over here.
I don't know what's happening.
We are we're gonna go. We would love for you to go to irritabledadsyndrome.com. And we also want you to share this podcast. If you enjoy what you hear, tell a friend, have your friend tell another friend. It's kind of like a pyramid scheme. And help us get the word out. We've been doing this for over 4 years. And the reason Mike and I do this podcast is because we love doing it. We genuinely very much enjoy doing this podcast. If you enjoy listening to it, tell your friends. We would love that. Help spread the word.
Go on our website and sign up for the email list because we're slowly getting more and more people signed up on it. It's fun. It's a fun place to be.
Yeah.
It's a fun thing to do.
It is. It absolutely is. Yeah.
Man, that went out like a wet fart.
Hope to see you next week on Irritable Dad Syndrome.
Jeez.
God.
Irritable Dad Syndrome is a Mike Odell, Darin Cox production.
Can't you just not be a for a second? Yeah.
You need to jump in with something.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, because I feel like I'm lambasting everyone.
What's it called? The audio.
Enclosure. The audio goes everywhere. I don't know where you're going. This is-
Well, you'd never know that we've done 220 of these
Oh,
beforehand. Eventually, we're going to get better, right?
Yeah.
You think?
Janet! Dr. Scott! Janet! Bad! Rucker! Hello? Janet! Dr. Scott! Janet! Bad! Rucker!
Hi.
Janet! Dr. Scott! Janet! Bad! Rucker!